In this lecture, we will continue talking about rocks. We will learn about the petrology and petrography and the difference between them. Petrology is a branch of geology that deals with the origin, occurrence, structure, and history of the rocks. So how about petrography? Petrography deals with the description and systematic classification of rocks, especially using a microscope. So this is the main difference between the two branches of geology. So our lecture actually will fall under the field of petrology. Most of this lecture we will talk about the petrology, which will include the origin and structure and history of. So we need to know the characteristics of magma first, and to do that we need to know the types of magma. To classify the types of magma, it is important to know the chemical composition, because this is the factor that based on which the magma is divided to the following types. Basaltic magma, and the basaltic magma we will see the silica content is from 45 to 55%. And this kind of magma is high in iron, magnesium, calcium, and low in potassium and sodium. Okay. Second, the andesitic magma, which has more silica, that ranges from 55 to 65%, and intermediate in iron, magnesium, calcium, sodium, and potassium. Okay, so go higher in silica content, you will see the rhyolitic magma, which has high silica content from 65 to 75%, and they are low in iron, magnesium, calcium, and high in potassium and sodium. So it is very easy thing to classify those types of magma according to the silica content. Okay, how about the temperatures of magmas? Of course, we cannot just measure the temperature of magma, because it's very dangerous to go there and just measure it. So the laboratory measurements and limited field observations indicate that the eruption temperature of various magma is as following. Basaltic from 1000 to 1200 degrees, andesitic from 800 to 1000 degrees, and rhyolitic, which is acidic one, from 650 to 800 degrees. Okay, so the lowest one is rhyolitic and the highest one in temperature is basaltic. Another character of magma is the viscosity. Viscosity of magma, you know that we can define the viscosity as the resistance to flow. If it flows easily, so the viscosity is low, and the opposite, and vice versa. So it depends on the composition of the magma and temperature. Higher silicon content of the magma leads to viscosity high. So viscosity increases with increasing the silica content. And lower temperature magmas have higher viscosity. So which means the viscosity decreases with increasing temperature of the magma. And this is the summary table that you can see, or you can tell from this table, that we have the types of magma: basaltic, andesitic, rhyolitic, the first column on the left. Then you have example of one rock of each type of magma: basalt, andesite, rhyolite, and the chemical composition of each one of them, and the temperature, then viscosity, and the gas content. Notice here the gas content in rhyolitic is higher than any other type of magma. Now we will see the igneous rocks according to their location. So we will start with plutonic igneous rocks. Plutonic means under the Earth's surface. then we have the first one is hypabyssal intrusions, and those intrusions include rocks at shallow levels of the crust. And also shallow here means depth that less than 1 kilometer. Those intrusions, they show sharp contact relations with rocks they intrude. So you can see just abrupt change. You can see the rock and the intrusion, the host rock and the intrusion, and they have very sharp contact. We have several types of hypabyssal intrusions, which include dikes, sills, and laccoliths. The first, dikes, as you see from the figure on the right, that something is cutting across the surrounding rocks, and they usually are small, less than 20 meter wide, and shallow intrusions. Also, they are discordant. They have discordant relationship to the rocks. Discordant means they are not conformable with them. They are in different direction with the surrounding rocks. And here it means that they cut across pre-existing structures. Okay. Sometimes you see those dikes are isolated bodies, or as swarms of dikes emanating from large intrusive body at depth. Second type is sills, and you can see from this figure also sills are like concordant here. You see they are following the bedding of the surrounding rocks, and they are also small, less than 50 meter thick, shallow intrusions. They are concordant relationship with the rocks that they intrude, and usually they are fed by dikes. Dikes give them the magma, but these may not be exposed to in the field. You cannot see that in the field. The third type is laccolith. And laccolith, as you see from the figure here, they are large intrusions that result in uplift and folding of pre-existing rocks above the intrusion itself. Still, they are concordant types. Okay, in our next lecture, we will learn about another type of large intrusions called plutons. See you. Bye.